thought that that I could go to prove myself that I am the best. And he's not an easy opponent. He's very technical. He has very good defense, but I always find a way to win. And Saturday's not gonna be no different. I'm gonna find a way to beat his ass.
Not over here.
I'm gonna beat his ass.
Hell no.
No.
So, hell, motherfucker, no.
I mean, it's all fun and games, but when I get in there, this shit's not funny.
Oh, you already
I
know.
send all my opponents to the hospital. Look at my track record.
You ain't doing
Look at
it.
Caleb. Look at Lemieux. Look at all of them.
He was smaller. He was smaller.
Man, I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Caleb is cool too. Caleb could box a little bit, but just I ain't Caleb.
It's all fun and games till they get in the ring with me.
Yeah, you sure hey, 2,000 Olympian. It's all fun and games till we get in there. I already know you. You say nothing I already don't know.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, back again. Marlo Knows Basketball and Marlo Knows Boxing. Back at y'all with another one. It's fight week, ladies and gentlemen. It's fight week once again. It seems like it's been fight week all year in the year 2023, man. One of the greatest years in boxing history by my estimation, man. Once again, we got another big one coming up. We got David Benavidez, the boogeyman of the super middleweight division, going up against Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Of course, David Benavidez is 27-0, 23 knockouts, going up against Boo Boo Andrade, who is 32-0 with 19 knockouts. So, we got two guys in there with, over 50% knockout ratio. David Benavidez knocks out almost every opponent he fights. Only 4 have gone the distance. But I'm not so sure that David Benavidez has fought an opponent that is as good as Boo Boo Andrade, man. Demetrius Andrade is definitely the best fighter that David Benavidez has fought to date. Of course, Boo Boo Andrade, again, 32-0, and never came close to losing, dominated every fight he's ever been in, and that's amateur and pro. And as an amateur, he dominated the likes of Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, which I know are smaller guys, even though Sean Porter started out at a pretty high weight starting out and he moved down. But he has shown the skill to dominate some very skillful fighters. Of course, Sean Porter and Keith Thurman came in as the cream of the crop as far as guys coming into the game at welterweight. But again, those guys were smaller. Demetrius Andrade definitely bigger. And, he's going up against a guy in David Benavidez that has way more power than anybody that he's ever fought. David Benavidez, of course, the boogeyman that Mike Tyson calls the Mexican monster. And much like Mike Tyson, he knocks out almost every guy that gets in the ring with him. Like I said, only 4 have gone the distance. He's 27-0. Only 4 have made it to that final ring bell at the end of the 12th round. Only 4. So that shows you what kind of monster and what kind of power we're talking about here. But he has to look impressive. And I'm gonna stop saying that guy. We gonna say his name. His name is Canelo Alvarez, aka Saul Canelo Alvarez, aka Payday, aka Lotto Ticket. I call him Lotto Ticket because to every single boxer that is anywhere near his weight class, he looks like $100 million because he is. Because getting a fight with him, you have a chance to make more money than you've ever made in your whole career. So that's why Canelo is the Lotto Ticket. David Benavidez needs to look impressive. He needs to look impressive against Demetrius Andrade to make sure that he seals that Canelo Alvarez fight. Because he's not the only one gunning for a Canelo fight, man. He's not the only one looking for Mr. Payday. Everybody wants this fight. Like I said, it's the Lotto Ticket. Terrence Bud Crawford is still chasing after Canelo. He's still chasing after that Canelo fight. That's why people are saying that he's ducking boots or he's ducking the rematch with Spence because he doesn't want to fight those fights. He wants a fight that's going to give him the biggest payday. And he knows that is Canelo Alvarez. So David Benavidez has a little bit of competition in who's gunning for that fight. So He has to look impressive. He has to look impressive. He can't look like how he looked against Caleb Plant. And I'm not saying that he came close to losing that fight or the fight was in the W was in jeopardy or anything like that. David Benavidez clearly beat Caleb Plant. He clearly beat him, but he didn't look impressive doing it. He didn't look impressive doing it. I expected David Benavidez to close the night on a guy like Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? But instead, he won the unanimous decision in which one of the judges only had him winning by 1 round. We need to see a more dominant performance before he seals that Canelo fight. It's going to have to be dominant, man. It's going to have to be dominant, or Canelo's going to weigh his options, man. Whatever makes the most business sense for Canelo, that's the fight that he's going to go after, and the fight that he's going to take, the one that's going to make the most money. And for the David Benavidez and Canelo fight to make the most money, he can't do what he did against Caleb Plant, which was just win the fight. You know, he just won the fight. You got to close the show. You got to dominate. You got to hurt Caleb Plant. There's no way that anyone watching that fight, let alone a judge, should have been able to watch that fight and say you only won by 1 round against a guy like Caleb Plant. He should have did more, in my opinion. You know, I watched that whole fight with him against Caleb Plant, and I wanted him to close the show. I just wanted to see a better performance. I wanted to see him close the show. He wasn't as aggressive as I thought that he would be. But he's got to do it, man. He's got to do it this time, man. He's saying that he's going to go for the knockout against Demetrius Andrade, put him in the hospital. It's all fun and games, right? It's all fun and games until you get in there with the Mexican monster, as Mike Tyson likes to call David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. So it's all fun and games until you get in there, and 23 knockouts in 27 fights tells me that you know, he is a monster. But he's got to show it, man. This is the biggest fight of his life to seal the biggest fight that in boxing. You know, the biggest fight in boxing, which is with Canelo Alvarez. So he's got to look impressive. You know, if he comes out and knocks out Demetrius Andrade, a guy that never even came close to losing, then that Canelo fight is sealed. Canelo won't have a choice but to fight you now. He don't have no choice. But if you go out there and, you know, you barely squeak by, the Terrence Crawford option might be what he might be looking at. Like I said, man, it's all up to Canelo. And he, as far as both guys, David Benavidez and Terrence Crawford, he hasn't gave a definite answer on saying whether either one of them was in the plans. He said the Terrence Crawford fight wasn't in the plans, but if it makes business sense, then, you know, it makes business sense. He also said David Benavidez, he hasn't committed to that either. He said that, you know, if it makes business sense, then he'll do it. But at the end of the day, a fight with Canelo is a lotto ticket. It's a lotto ticket that every fighter is looking for. It's the lotto ticket every fighter is looking for. They want that payday. They want that payday. And that's Canelo's nickname for a reason. Payday. Because he's been the face of boxing for so long. When did Floyd and Manny fight? What was that, 2015? Immediately after that fight, Canelo became the face of boxing. So he's been the face of boxing for almost 10 years. It's been about 8 years. And he's been lotto ticket ever since then. And every fighter is looking for that lotto ticket. But Canelo's going to do what makes business sense. Whichever fighter is going to make the most money, that's what Canelo is going to do. And if David Benavidez doesn't come out and look impressive, that might be Bud Crawford.
Andrade, you want the winner of that fight next?
We don't know yet. I'm gonna enjoy this fight, man.
Okay, congratulations, and Canelo. Congratulations for the hard work and learning English, bro. You work so hard, man. You've been so impressive with your English the last couple of months, bro.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for learning, bro.
Saúl, contento con la presentación.